With the introduction of the Insta360 Go 3S, Insta360 did something different. It allowed you to unbundle the camera from the action pod. And the question I want to explore in our time today is, should you do it? Is it worth it? Will you save money? What do you lose along the way? I'm Mark. Thanks for watching Mark Exploring New Stuff. If you like the Go 3, one of the biggest draws to me is the use of it, the small nature of it. And most of the time, I'm using my Go 3 separate. I'm not using it with the action pod. So when I upgraded to the Go 3S, I didn't get a new action pod. I was able to just buy the camera and pair it to the action pod that I use with my Go 3. But then the question came up is, if you're new to the Go 3 environment, do you need the action pod? What if you were able to save $160 by not buying the camera with the action pod, just buying the camera alone? Would you still be able to get the functionality out of it? Is that a worth savings? Well, let me start by saying the main functions of the action pod are as a remote control, as the ability to adjust the settings on the camera, as the ability to serve as a flippy screen. And certainly all of those applications can be accomplished by using the Insta360 app available on iPad as well as Android devices. Your iPad can allow you to adjust all the settings of your camera, will allow you to remote control your camera, and will allow you to use your, in effect, iPhone as a selfie of what your camera is looking at. But there's one thing that you couldn't do. You couldn't charge it. Then along came the quick reader. The quick reader, which I did a video of a couple weeks ago, added two main features. One was the ability to offload memory from your Go 3, but the other thing was now this gave you the ability to charge your camera. By plugging this into a USB-C power bank or other type of USB-C receptacle, you're able to charge the camera. So now, theoretically, if you have the camera and the quick reader, you have all the functionality, don't you? Maybe not. Let's explore some of the elements that are included in the standard bundle that Insta360 has so you get to see what the difference is. When I talk about the cost of this type of setup, the camera and the action pod together, I'm going to quote the cost of the 128 gig camera. The cost of this setup is $430. Now, the 64 gig is $30 less. If you bought this camera separately, your cost is $270. So you're looking at $160 savings by just getting the camera itself. Remember, we said you have to get the quick reader, otherwise you're not going to have any ability to charge this. That quick reader is $45. So if you saved $160, but you're going to have to spend $145. So this sort of setup right here has a cost savings to you of $115. So is the action pod worth it? Well, in order to do that, you've got to look at what the standard bundle offered by Insta360 includes. First, let's talk about the accessories that come in the standard bundle that is offered by Insta360. The first is the necklace. Now, the magnetic necklace allows you to mount the Go 3 right about here where you see I have my microphone at this particular point in time. Now, the cost associated with this magnetic pendant, $15. The second thing that comes in the bundle is this guy right here. Now this allows you to attach your Insta360 Go S to the brim of a hat. The cost associated with this, $10. And the last element that's included in the standard bundle is this mount. It has a 3/8 inch on the bottom. It attaches magnetically to either the action pod or the camera itself. And the retail on this, according to Insta360, is $30. When you add the cost of these three elements that are in the standard bundle, you're at $55. So now, remember, we started off with $160 in savings by not buying the action pod. Then we spent $45 because we had to get the quick reader. The quick reader was necessary in order to charge it. And we said, really, our savings is $115. But I just showed you three accessories that I think are critical to get the most use out of your Insta360 Go 3, and that's $55. Now we've got the cost differential down to $60. Are there any features that are included in the action pod that are not accessible through the Insta360 app? And there are. First two I want to point out to you, and these might be biggies, is you have the ability to use the pod itself with the camera in it as a webcam. Now this is a webcam function. What you need to do is connect the camera directly to your computer or to your iPad via a USB-C cable. When you do that, it'll pop up on the back with two options you see here. One, it'll say webcam mode, or it'll say disk mode. Now disk mode, let me describe that. What will happen is that we'll recognize this as a USB drive on either your iPad, iPhone, or computer device. It'll recognize this as a drive as far as accessing and transferring files. But jumping back, this will also give you a choice to function as a webcam, and you'll get full webcam features out of your camera. Also, one of the features that came out with the Go 3S is the Apple Find Me, where this will link with the Apple Find Me app, so if you lose your Go 3S, it is able to tell you where it is. I'm not able to figure out how to access or turn on that feature by using the iOS or Android application. So I'm going to put that down. That's a feature that you're only going to be able to access if you have the Action Pod. In addition, voice control as well as gesture control. Those are some features that I'm not able to figure out if it's available through the iOS app. The other thing I want to talk to you about is the charging capabilities of this. The way this camera functions is it has a battery life of about 30 minutes. This has a battery life of, let's say, about 90 minutes, roughly. When you put the two of them together, you have close to 2 hours worth of life. If you're using this separate, independent from the Action Pod, you are limited in the roughly 25-30 minute battery life that's on the camera itself. You should be aware that if you have the quick transfer, you're able to charge this, but you cannot use the camera and charge it at the same time. With the Action Pod, you'll get longer time without an interruption for video recording. And one more thing, pre-recording, there's a feature in the Go 3S. I haven't been able to find the way to access that through the iOS app. So if you're interested in hand gestures, if you're interested in voice gestures, if you're interested in webcam, if you're interested in being able to use this as a USB drive accessibility, then you need to decide, is that functionality worth $60? If it is, then you want to get the standard bundle. If it isn't, then I think you want to get the standalone camera with the quick reader. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching Mark Exploring New Stuff. If you found this interesting, give us a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe. And by all means, have a great day.